We're at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds D lot where NorCal RallyCross takes center stage. They have put together a very nice track here in the dirt, and there are the trophies they will be going for. We're about to see the modified all-wheel drive division, and this is Chris Pacera on a red WRX STI. Looks like he's getting off to a great start. These racers were allowed to make as many as 6 practice runs on Saturday. However, Chris Pacera did not participate in that. So this will be his first run on the course, and it looks like he is handling it very well. Fairly new WRX STI. You can see it is an all-dirt track and a little bit muddy, and you'll see a little bit later it will get even muddier as the day goes on, particularly for their second run. Here comes Chris Pacera now as we move ahead to his finish, and he will finish up strong with a 57.794. That will actually be the fastest first run time of anyone on the course. This is Bob Maselli just behind him, also in a STI, and Maselli is coming in strong. Now, he did participate in the practice run, and he is also going to finish strong here. His time on the lap will be 58.215. That is the second fastest time on the first run. So Pacera and Maselli are in great shape. Next up, car number 650, a blue Subaru Impreza. Lots of Subarus in the field because of their all-wheel drive capabilities and the fact that you can modify these to be perfect for these kind of conditions. This is Jason Cochell, and he is doing very nicely around the course. As you can see, not sliding too much, keeping his speed up around the turns and handling the dirt very nicely. And here comes Jason Cochell to the finish. Finishes with a 62.334, about 5 seconds off the leaders. Brent Blakely is next in a Subaru Impreza, also a little bit older one, and he is having a very good run. Accelerating nicely to the turns. When you have the all-wheel drive, you can pull yourself around those turns, and you can see Blakely is doing a very nice job of that. His first one would be a very good one. He would finish in under a minute at 58.554. However, his subsequent runs did not go as well, and Brent Blakely would end up finishing in 16th place. Not only are you going for time, but if you hit the cones, you are dinged 2 seconds. So you got to not only try to get around the course quickly, but you've got to try to do it cleanly as well. Here is Daryl Fike now in another Subaru, and he's looking very good as he comes around the turns. Great speed through that big turn right there as Daryl Fike looks to put together a very good run here in his Subaru. Obviously some kind of a modified exhaust on that one as he comes around the final turn and finishes his first run in a 58.402. A very good run for Daryl Fike. Here's how they keep time. You can see it's all automated. They're keeping track of the times, assessing the penalty points, and keeping track of the leaders. And in order to keep the dust down and keep the neighbors happy, they are getting the track wet in between the first and the second run. So the second run will be significantly slower, as you can imagine, on the mud. Here is Zam Vrooman in an STI, and you can see he has to take it a lot easier because of the mud. You will slide out, you will hit the cones, and it'll be very difficult to maintain any kind of speed. Everybody will have just about the same conditions. You see him sliding way out on that one right there. Obviously the first one to run on the fresh mud will be at a little bit of a disadvantage, but everybody will have that mud run. Here is Chris Pacera now on his second run, trying to deal with the mud. Looks like a fairly new red STI from 2016, maybe 2017. And you can see he has to take that very wide, and he did contact a couple of cones right there. Pacera would finish that second run about 15 seconds slower than his first run. Not only that, he had some penalty points. So although he has a very good time going into the third run, those penalty points could come back to haunt him in the end. Now here comes Bob Maselli. His second run also would be significantly slower, about 30 seconds slower than his first run, which he comes in at 88.701. Maselli's total time would land him in 5th place on the day, as we see Becerra finishing in 73.72. Becerra is definitely in the running. Next we see Jay Morrison, another Subaru, negotiating that mud, taking it pretty easy. Morrison would end up in 19th place. This his second run, an 88.266. Take it back to the beginning now. Here is Craig Fellers in an STI. Fellers trying to hang in there with the mud. Again, it is not easy to maintain this. You've got to be almost perfect, and you cannot accelerate too much going into the turn, or you are going to lose it. You can see how much he is sliding out right there and turning into the turn fairly nicely. However, Fellers with a 97.220 on this second run and an overall finish of 14th place on the day. Back at the start, here's Jason Cochell now. Cochell had a very good first run. We'll see if he can follow it up right here. And it looks like he's going in a little bit faster, a little bit hotter here as the track is starting to dry out just a bit. Takes that pretty wide, but does not hit a cone. Cochell would end up about 9 seconds above his first round time with a 71.426. Here's Lisa Strom now in an STI white. Nice to see the ladies competing out here as well as the men, and Lisa Strom coming around that first turn nicely, trying to handle that mud. There's a fine line between taking it too fast, and there she goes pretty wide right there, which is actually pretty good strategy. It's a little drier on that outside. You can see Lisa Strom is handling it pretty well. Her time in the mud was 75.240, and overall time on all 3 of her runs of 230.152. Good enough for 11th place on the day for Lisa Strom. Here she comes to the finish, and finishing rather strong right here, taking that turn a little wide but keeping it rolling. Got to accelerate at just the right time to try to pull out of those turns. And Lisa Strom with a very nice run and a good showing on the day here in NorCal RallyCross. Jordan Blanco now in a WRX, taking off at the start here. See, he's got that front end modified quite a bit, I'm assuming to take a little bit of weight off. And running nicely, Jordan Blanco with a WRX. His finish on this run was a 68.969. Overall in the day, 232.106. And Jordan Blanco would end up in 12th place overall on the day. They have events also in the Sacramento area, Prairie City. If you're interested in finding out, go to their website at NorCalRallyCross.com and get more information. Here's Chris Becerra now on his final run, and he needs to have a blistering final run. He is in the top 5, however. A couple penalty points really hurt him, but Chris Becerra, one of the strongest runners on the day, cruising around that big turn. That's almost a 180 right there at the beginning of the track. Again, this is the D lot at the Fairgrounds, just south of the main Sonoma County Fairgrounds area. Perfect place to have this event. They're always looking for other places as well. Here's Bob Maselli now. Becerra finishes with a 64.440, and he's going to be close. Bob Maselli also in the running. Going strong here. His second run was a tough one, as we see Becerra finishing, and Becerra finishes strong. It's a 64.440. I don't think he's quite going to get over the hump. Daryl Fike, after 3 runs, is the leader, and unless somebody comes up with a tremendous run, I think he's got it. He just clipped that cone right there. Bob Maselli with a 63.041, an overall of 213.96. Here are the winners. Jason Cochell ends up with 3rd place. And Chris Passara ends up in second place. Had he not hit the cones, I think he would have won this one.
And the winner of the MA class
And Daryl Fike takes the MA class here in NorCal RallyCross. Great job by Daryl Fike and his Subaru. And here are all the competitors on the day doing a great job out here having fun in NorCal RallyCross.